So in regular life, if I'm just moving through regular life, what is the witness attitude? Okay. It's many things and it's very deep, but here's what it would look like if you were just beginning to learn about it, okay? So you begin with something very, very gross and very simple. By gross, I don't mean disgusting. I mean gross as in of matter, very, tangible. So I'm going to drink water. I feel thirsty. So if I were going to try to cultivate the witness, before I drink the water, I would allow myself a moment and I would try to connect with the one in me who was experiencing thirst. Because mostly we're just automatic. My mouth goes, feels dry, and I reach out for water. But can I connect for just a moment with the awareness in me of a dry mouth? Who notices my mouth is dry? Who's the one who says, my mouth is dry? Whose mouth is it? So I spend just a moment connecting with that. Don't get yourself too frustrated. It's a practice. But you just take a moment and you connect. Can I connect with the one who is saying my mouth? Whose mouth? Who's that my? Who knows, who understands thirst? And then as I bring it up to my lips, if I could have talked with my mouth full, I would have done that. But if I had opened my mouth, the water would have all poured out. So I had to swallow and then tell you. But while the water is inside, before you swallow, again, can I connect with the part of me that is aware that there's water in my mouth? Can I connect with the part of me that is watching the water go down? Okay? You do that for a while. Do that on a very, very simple level for a while. Then, as you start to watch yourself do things, notice, okay, after I've had that sip of water, I'm no longer experiencing that same level of thirst. So can I be the one now aware of the fact that my thirst is satiated? Can I be aware of that? And if I can be aware of the fact that my thirst is satiated, now maybe I'm aware of a slight rumble in my stomach. It's almost dinner time. Okay, so can I witness that? Now this is, again, it's very, very gross level witnessing, but we begin here. Can I be aware of the rumble in my stomach? Because if I can do that, and I can really get good at that, I'm going to start to be aware of a different type of rumble. It's easy to be aware of the rumble in my stomach. But I'm going to start to cultivate an awareness of a different type of rumbling, which is a rumbling of emotion. And just as I may notice my stomach start to contract, I'll cultivate the ability to notice my heart contracting. Can I notice the way that my breath starts to get a little bit shallower? And as that's happening, I can notice that there's a rise within me of heat and of energy. We call it anger, but if you notice, actually it's heat, it's energy. My heart is starting to beat a little faster, and I'm the one watching it. And you start watching that. And you do that again for a while. I'm going to have to give you a lot of the pieces at once because I just have you for a few minutes. And after you do that for a while, there's actually the ability to be aware of the one who's watching this. So right now, my only goal is to just be aware of who's noticing that there's thirst in my mouth, who's noticing that there's a rumble in my stomach, who's saying my mouth, who's saying my stomach, who's watching. But then there also becomes a place of who's the one asking that question? Right? So it takes you a step farther back. And slowly you cultivate different levels of awareness. Oh, okay. So now I'm sitting in the one who's asking the question of, can I go even deeper? But you don't want to go there yet. You begin with the general awareness. Then who's aware? Then who's asking that question? Who's watching? Who's aware? And it takes you into deeper and deeper levels of the self. And what this gives us, aside from a beautiful experience in meditation, but what it gives us is the ability not to be victims of our emotions. Otherwise, anger takes us. We yell, we hit, we insult. We do all sorts of things that harm others. And we harm ourselves. There's a beautiful quotation that says, being angry at someone else is like swallowing poison and expecting someone else to die. The anger that I feel for someone else is burning me first. That anger I experience, well, I mean, nobody injected it into me. I didn't catch it from the ether. I manufactured it inside me. I mean, on a consciousness level, we talk about watching it like a wave, but the truth is I'm manufacturing this inside me. Nobody's walked over and injected anger in me. All of that which I'm feeling, I've manufactured. I am the factory of that anger. Begins in my mind. It begins with a thought. How dare he? How dare she? Why not this? Why not that? But from the thought is like the boss of the factory. So the mind says, how dare he? How dare she? How dare you? Why not this? Why that? And then, like a factory line, the rest of the body starts responding. Oh, okay, we'll produce a lot of adrenaline. Okay, we'll make the heart beat really fast. Okay, we'll speed up the blood pressure. All like very obedient factory workers. And so all of that is part of what we call anger. But it's burning me. Long before I say something to you. Long before I reach up my hand to slap you or not slap you. Long before I slam the door and walk out. I'm the one being burned by it. And lastly, the flip side, of course, is when you think about something like love, and joy, peace, all of that which we experience with other people in certain places. Well, in the same way that someone's actions or words may have been a trigger, they may have been the trigger for my anger manufacturing plant to start, but I've manufactured it inside. In the same way, someone else's presence, an experience, a sunset, whatever it may be, is a trigger for my internal love manufacturing plant, or my internal joy manufacturing plant, or my internal peace manufacturing? Because all of that is coming from within me. I may say, you are the reason I'm angry. Or, you are the reason I'm so happy, I'm so in love with you, oh my God, that's so great, you're here. But the truth is, that love is within me. You're the trigger of it. You've switched on my love manufacturing plant. But it's actually taking place inside me. And so this is where we have the key. We have the decision. What am I going to manufacture? And just like anger burns us before it burns someone else, the love I manufacture, the peace, the joy, long before I give love to someone else, long before I give a smile to someone else, I'm benefiting on the inside. I'm the first beneficiary of whatever my plant manufactures. So this is the decision we all have to make.